Man, this podcast you're about to hear is some very, very good nuggets in it. Some raw audio footage. I call it the audio vlog or the audio log. It's very raw footage of me and the homies, man. We had a meet with one of the OGs. I linked up one of the young homies of mine and one of my OG homies. I let them meet up. We all had a meet, just talking. And we're in the middle of he's showing them how to make beats and kind of giving them details on music and how to make beats. Cultural. This is where the gaming and also the music world come intertwined to each other. Because right now, one of the RGTV platforming, the podcast, and we're also dealing with some music culture things in here. But it's some good stuff to learn, and it's very powerful. The spoken words, raw audio footage. So sorry for the bad audio quality, but it's all raw, no edit, no cut, anything like that. It's just straight to the point. Fred Freeze, shout out to Fred Freeze, shout out to my boy Oso, shout out to my boy CEO. Just some raw footage. We're just in the studio having a good time and having a nice meeting. So you are tuned in to the raw footage first take of a studio session. Let's get it.
Like a lot of boom bapish type stuff. So when you're doing that type of stuff, I'll go ahead and go down to like 80, say, and then like I got my kicks over here. Listen, this is just me auditioning kicks. So over here is where your browser is, where you're gonna have your plugins, your sounds, everything that you got going on with FL Studio. It's over here on the left hand side. And you just pretty much go through here. You can arrange this however you want to set it up. This makes you comfortable, so you'll know where all your stuff is. And in this case, I just got a simple kicks package, and I can just go, okay, we're gonna just use this little guy. All right, so that's that kick. What I did was I took that kick and I dragged it into the step sequencer, aka the channel rack. Yeah. Now, on the older versions of FL, which you probably won't be using, so I'm just telling you this for GP in case you run across it, you had a little knob right here that you could actually set how long you wanted your rack to be, and it went on to infinity. So you could just, if you want to be crazy and just be drumming for 50 years, you could do that. But if you say you just want to start with a 4-beat sequence, 4-bar sequence, well, here you go. Okay. So that's it. And what you would do is you would say, okay, I'm on 80 BPMs. I'm going to start with something like this. This is very simple. This is very flat. Just, you know what I'm saying? And then what do I want with that? I want a snare. I want a snare with that. And see, I do this just to mark what I'm doing so I can see where I'm at. So I go down here to my snares. You see, I got the little snare thing that says snares. And that's another kick. What? This is when you don't mark yourself right. You know
Jeff would ask you, is that custom mark?
Huh?
That's custom mark or it come marked like
no,
that?
You mark it yourself. Or if it marks itself when you drop the packet in there, because a lot of FL Studio is drag and drop. Yeah. All of this sits on your C drive, so you're going to actually go to the back end of it, and I can answer any other questions which you kind of start playing with it. I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to start playing with it. You feel what I'm talking about. Me just giving you this little brief overview is going to be like, you can get in there again and be like, what the hell is this? But just remember, if you remember this part about the step sequencer, it's going to speak volumes. You just remember this is just a little drum machine. Step sequencer, it helps me just sequence out drums. So I got 2 kicks in here, and I'm going to find a snare. So I like this snare. See, I got the snare, and I'm just going to put it here on top of this crappy snare that was already set in the bass pattern. And there's always a bass pattern that's always set. And it's usually trash because it's usually like dance music or something. Sorry, dance music people. And I mean dance as in like club, like 808, like 909, like do, that type of stuff. Electronica, that type of stuff. It's not going to be hip hop, anything that you're going to really do with it. Now I got it set for this, so when I play this, it's going to be no flavor, no nothing. Okay, so but basically if you want to start messing around, you start drawing in more sequences, and you just whatever your ear feels like hearing, or based on the sample or what you're playing.
Shit, you keep playing it long, I'm gonna start out rapping.
So you see how that just kind of came together, and that's me drawing it in. You can also just go in and be like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You go in and some people like you missed it when my boy Haru was here. Haru likes to draw his in. Yeah. Haru will sit here with the mouse and he'll just hit the mouse and just, you know, he'll just kind of play it in because he's a drummer by trade, so he likes to tack down. You know, so he'll like to do that. Yeah. Whereas you'll have some people that are, it's all about what you want to do. I'm a visual dude. Mm-hmm. I'm a feel dude. So once I feel it, I visually put it in. Or whatever. And then some people, I'm going to show you another trick. Like you can also go to something called a playlist. And I'm going to show you the playlist and piano roll. You go in, these are all my kick hits. So if I could put another kick up here, not saying it's going to sound good. See what I'm saying? But it's right there. See, I'm drawing in kicks that I can visually see right now. Inside of the piano roll. The piano roll even lets you cheat. I'm going to show you the pianos and stuff they got. Because it shows you the keys. Right? Yeah. And so it not only shows you the keys, but it tells you what that key is now. So that's the C. That's middle C. Like if you're playing the piano, there go middle C, D, E, F, G. You know, repeat.
So is the extra keys on the keyboard?
Extra keys on the keyboard.
Okay, so that's what I didn't know.
And then like basically, now this is gonna sound like crap because I just threw an extra kick in here out of nowhere. But, well, I guess it did. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, if I fix it, so but you know, but see you can paint in whatever you want. See what I'm saying? And then because that little me adding those extra kicks gave it kind of a swing. Yeah. Now speaking of swing, you got just like a MPC, you got swing over here. Swing is an attempt to let you humanize this machine. Because what swing is, when a human being is playing, this is perfectly on time. This is stiff. But when we're playing, it's going to be some errors. And our ear likes to hear that error. And it makes it feel human. It gives it that bounce. True. Like sometimes when you hear something, it's got that bounce and you can't really explain it. Yeah. But that bounce is that human energy. You playing it yourself. You're adding, like there's maybe some, it's on time, but it may be slightly off. It may be doing a little something. It's that little bit of delay. It's that whatever. It's trying to add that to it. You see what I'm saying? And we have to go in on FL Studio and we humanize. So when you see me doing this, I'm changing velocities so that the strikes are different. So that the machine, because the machine, when you plank this all in, it's just flat. Cross the line, perfectly measured, exactly where it needs to be. It's drawn into its space, and that's it. But moving it around adds just a bit of human error to it that makes it sound like, hey, exactly. That hey, something like you played this naturally. Yeah. And a lot of people become so masterful at it, they got templates that they've set up, and you just be like, damn, it sounds like he in there going off. He could have drew all that in. Yeah. Exactly. So, and it's just what you sit down and play with. The same thing goes here. I'll put a little swing on this, and this kind of we'll move along. And then this is the playlist. Now I showed you the piano roll. Piano roll, you get there, you get to a series of things by clicking on these buttons. What these buttons are is, okay, let's look at this. Once you drag, say, a kick, and I'm going to show you, once you drag a kick or instrument or anything here, you can manipulate it by clicking on it here. So all I did was, I went here, when I'm done, I'll let you guys just kind of mess around for a minute, just kind of, hit some buttons, see if you feel. But I, hit this click right, I just clicked that button, I left mouse clicked it, and this shows me that's my sample, right? That's my actual little piece, that's my whatever. I can go here to resample. I don't need to do that. It's a kick. So I'm not doing all that. So this is not a real sample. You can manipulate the time. You can manipulate the pitch. You can do things like fade it and stereo. You can reverse it. You can, and you see if you reversed it, you got that. And you got it. See what I'm saying? You can go in and you can change your attack time. Attack is how quickly it responds you hitting. Yeah. So right now I got a bit of delay on it. So that it's just a little bit of delay, like it's coming in, the kick is coming in just a little bit, whatever. But I can make that kick quick. And you ain't gonna be able to just quite hear it, but make that, and that's that as soon as I touch it, like see it's going to be bam. But before it was just a slight bit of delay. Human ear may not always catch it. Once you start producing enough, you're going to catch it. Yeah. A lot of other people going to catch it. And then when you start working everything into its together, you'll start hearing this type of crap. And you'll start hearing, okay, this needs to be off a little bit. It needs to be whatever. Oh, this sounds better. This has better swing. That's what that is. And you'll see people, the hold actually says how long do you want to hold the sample. So that means how long, once I hit this button down, will it actually sustain itself. It's a sustain. And then you actually got sustain, which like that's the actual like intensity of it. Like once you hold it, how long is it gonna like be whatever out. And then you got like other parts like the delay, which I told you about that earlier. You got decay, which decay is like like this is a low decay, meaning that it's gonna stop abruptly right there, or I can let the decay go out where it just slowly goes away, and hello?
Commercial break. There's a couple times you're going to catch OG Freeze in the moment, in the zone, just vibing out with a great session. Part 2 up next. Part 3 you don't want to miss.